Heya Cryptozens, it's 10 p.m. Pacific time. My name is Nikodemus, and welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter, where we take a nightly look at the crypto, NFT, and metaverse space. And keep in mind, nothing in this show should ever be considered financial advice. And it's Tuesday, December 20th, 2022, 10 p.m. Pacific time, so let's go. Representative Patrick McHenry of North Carolina has reintroduced a bill called the Financial Services Innovation Act. I say reintroduced because he has previously introduced this same bill in 2016 and again in 2019. This bill aims to create offices within federal financial institutions that can help innovators, whether they're blockchain or not, navigate the regulatory landscape in the United States. McHenry is the current ranking member of the House Financial Services Committee and will become its chair next January. McHenry's legislation would allow companies to apply for enforceable compliance agreement with offices at agencies like the Securities Exchange Commission and the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. These agreements would provide a legal path forward for innovators without outdated or burdensome regulations. And these agreements would apply to blockchain and crypto firms just like any other fintech. The legislation was inspired by North Carolina's regulatory sandbox program. McHenry believes that it is an important thing for the regulatory process to support financial innovation rather than hinder it. He says that this legislation will help financial institutions and entrepreneurs bring innovative products and services to market faster while still protecting customers. The House Financial Services Committee will work to create a regulatory framework that gives fintech firms clear guidelines for success. Other federal agencies, such as the Office for the Comptroller of the Currency, have also announced plans to establish innovation offices focused on fintech. The SEC created a Strategic Hub for Innovation and Financial Technology, or FinHub, in 2018. FinHub became an independent office in 2020. CFTC's FinTech Research Unit, LabCFTC, made a similar move in 2019. Representative Maxine Waters currently chairs the HFSC, but McHenry will take over in January after Republican lawmakers gained majority control in the House of Representatives. Under Waters and McHenry, the House Financial Services Committee has made bipartisan efforts to address the collapse of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX and potential actions against former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried. Now, while there's some question about where all that money from Alameda Research and FTX went, we do know at least some of that money made it out in the form of political donations. And now we know that a prosecutor from the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York sent an email to a law firm representing Democratic political groups. This email asked for information about donations made by Bankman-Fried and his colleagues. The email was sent to campaign organizations, as well as super large PACs and Rep. Hakeem Jeffries. This was in response to the scandal surrounding FTX. Jeffries and other politicians either returned donations linked to FTX or donated that money to charity, which could be its own problem, but we'll get to that. Now, we covered the decision of the Democratic National Committee along with the party's Senate and House campaign committees. They will return over $1 million in donations from Bankman-Fried. Republican campaigns and committees are also being investigated for taking donations from an FTX executive who was a major financier on the right. Now, FTX is thinking about using legal methods to get back all of the payments and contributions made by its affiliated entities and former executives. These would include political donations made by Sam. FTX said in a press release that it has received requests from entities that receive contributions or payments from Sam Bankman-Fried or other officers to return those funds. Now, we have 3 Democratic organizations that have recently promised to give back over $1 million of those donations. That said, the White House press secretary did not respond when asked if the Biden administration would also be returning their $5.2 million in campaign donations. FTX asked entities that received funds to return them and said that it will start legal action to get them back with interest if they're not returned willingly. Legal experts previously said that up to $73 million in FTX's political donations could be recovered to repay creditors who may be owed between $10 and $50 billion in the company's bankruptcy case. Some members of Congress who received FTX's political contributions have given the money to charity to distance themselves from the exchange and its founder. Members such as Hakeem Jeffries and Dick Durbin have reportedly donated the money they received from FTX to various charities. Senator John Hoeven also gave them $11,600 that he received from Bankman-Fried and FTX Digital Markets co-CEO Ryan Salame to the Salvation Army. FTX said that giving the money to charity will not stop it from trying to recover the funds. Sam was the second largest Democratic Party contributor in the 2022 midterm elections. He donated $36.8 million to candidates. His $5.2 million donation to Joe Biden's 2020 presidential campaign made him the second largest CEO contributor. In an interview with Tiffany Fong, SBF said that he donated about the same amount to both parties, but his donations to Republicans were, quote, dark. Well, that's going to get him in trouble for falsifying the identification information part of those donations. You're not allowed to pretend to be someone else when donating to a political campaign. Other FTX executives donated about $20 million to Republican candidates. Director of Engineering Nisad Singh donated about $50,000 to Oregon Democrats. On December 13th, Bankman-Fried was charged with violating campaign finance laws, including contributing violations, obstructing the Federal Election Commission's functions, and making contributions in the name of others. Now, we do know that one political action committee called Senate Majority PAC will return $3 million in donations. These donations were made by Sam as well as Nisad Singh. The spokesperson for the Senate Majority PAC said that they had set aside the donations with the intention of returning them. That is, once they received direction from federal law enforcement officials. Now, this decision was made following serious allegations against FTX. The decision comes a day after FTX's new management, currently in bankruptcy proceedings, announced that they may seek action in bankruptcy court to make recipients of political donations from FTX or its affiliates return those funds. Sasha Ivanov is the CEO of Waves. Now, the Waves blockchain plans to launch a new stablecoin. They've already got one, and it's not working out very well. So he made this announcement on Twitter, saying that he will first implement a resolution plan for the current stablecoin. And the current stablecoin is the Neutrino USD coin, or USDN. Now, at that point, he says he can move forward with the new project. Ivanov stated that the new stablecoin will be, quote, undepeggable. Ivanov said that the new stablecoin will be a combination of an algorithmic stablecoin, warning, and a decentralized autonomous organization, a DAO. It will be unique to the Waves blockchain and cannot be used on other chains. Ivanov said that the current USDN model is not suitable for the current market and more robust models should be developed. He described Neutrino as an incentive-based stablecoin that is not able to withstand extreme market volatility. Waves does not plan to abandon USDN. Ivanov said that the new stablecoin will actually help stabilize USDN and restore its value. USDN is an algorithmic stablecoin pegged to the US dollar and backed by Waves. But it has struggled to maintain its one-to-one peg and has lost its peg several times this year. Ivanov stated that the over-collateralization and adaptive algorithms will help create undepeggable assets. I am skeptical. Now, USDN saw its value fall to 80 cents back in April, and it lost its peg several times since then. I literally just looked while writing the segment. Currently, one USDN is worth 57 cents. The Waves cryptocurrency also saw a drop in price due to a warning from the Digital Asset Exchange Alliance on December 8th. Waves said that misinformation has caused the value of its token to drop, even though there was no actual problem with the Waves ecosystem. The Central African Republic has announced that it will not list its Sango crypto coin until next year. The country is one of the first to declare Bitcoin as its legal tender, but its judges have rejected an attempt to allow crypto investors to buy citizenship with $60,000 worth of Sango. The decision to postpone the listing of Sango until the first quarter of 2023 is due to current market conditions and seasonal factors. Investors in the Republic's Sango crypto coin have been promised that they would receive 5% of their stake at the time of listing. The reason for the delay in listing the coin has not been disclosed, and moderators have declined to comment on whether it was due to central bankers or legal obstacles. The government of the Central African Republic is hoping to make the country a cryptocurrency hub and has said that it wants to be one step ahead in terms of adopting new technology. Uniswap has teamed up with Moonpay to let people buy cryptocurrency on its web app using debit cards, credit cards, and bank transfers. Bank transfers are available to users in the United States, Brazil, the UK, and the Single Euro Payments Area, also known as SEPA. Uniswap users can now exchange fiat for cryptocurrency on the Ethereum mainnet, Polygon, Optimism, and Arbitrum. Uniswap said that decentralized exchanges are safer than centralized exchanges because they have user protection, self-custodial wallets, permissionless protocols, and transparent public ledgers. Uniswap will initially support DAI, Ether, USDC, Tether, Wrapped Bitcoin, and Wrapped Ether, depending on the user's location. Uniswap said that the decentralized finance onboarding process has been a barrier to adoption, and that's because people value centralized exchanges for their convenience, even though they're risky. Uniswap hopes its new rollout will make the process better with, quote, no spread fees on USDC, lowest processing fees in the market, and instant access. Uniswap's announcement came as several centralized crypto platforms like FTX have failed. On November 22nd, Uniswap faced criticism for some people in the community for updating its privacy policy to allow the collection and storage of user data. This goes against crypto values for some people. The privacy policy, updated on November 17th, stated that Uniswap will collect publicly available blockchain data, information about user devices like browser information and operating systems, and information on users' interactions with its service providers. And while we've been spending a lot of time lately on FTX, we have not forgotten some of the other black swan projects out there, like Terra. South Korean authorities are still investigating and freezing the funds of people involved in the Terra ecosystem collapse. The Seoul Southern District Court has seized more assets related to Terra, including $108 million from co-founder Shin Hyun-sung in November. The South Korean court has ordered the freezing of $92 million in assets belonging to the former and current CEOs of Kernel Labs. Kernel Labs is an affiliate of Terraform Labs. Now, Kernel Labs is a blockchain consultancy company that specializes in decentralized applications and blockchain payment systems. It's believed to have close ties to Terraform Labs, as the CEO of Kernel Labs, Kim Hyung-jun, previously served as the vice president of engineering at Terraform Labs. Some sources also claim that employees of Kernel Labs previously worked at the South Korean office of Terraform Labs. Bankrupt crypto lender Blockfi has asked the United States Bankruptcy Court to allow clients to withdraw their cryptocurrencies from Blockfi wallet accounts. Withdrawals and transfers from Blockfi interest accounts will remain paused. And that's an important distinction, because most folks had their money in the interest-bearing accounts. And as I understand it, the funds in the wallet accounts are those that were not stored in Blockfi's interest-bearing accounts. So that money should all still be there. Now, Blockfi has told its users that allowing withdrawals of cryptocurrencies from Blockfi wallet accounts is an important step towards returning assets to clients. The company has also made a similar request to the Supreme Court of Bermuda for Blockfi wallet accounts held by its international counterpart, Blockfi International Limited. Now, Blockfi has also requested to update the user interface to show the correct amount of assets on the platform at the time it was paused. On January 9th, the bankruptcy court will decide whether to approve this request. A similar hearing will be held for Blockfi's international entity on January 13th. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. We'll see you tomorrow night.